So in this video, I'll show you how we doubled our model's earnings in the first month of working with us to $146,000 in 1 month on Onlyfans. So this is the screen recording that I'll overlay as I'm speaking. So just so you can see that it's all real, I'll just refresh this. And I just bear with this. She just needs to go ahead and confirm that. But anyway, that's besides the point. So we took her on in just at the end of December. And this was the last month that she had with her previous agency. So in December, as you can see, gross was $90,000 and net profit was $72,000. Okay. If we extrapolate that and break that down, so where did that money come from? So from the messages, and we're just going to focus on the net, okay, here. So net profit was $28,000 from the messages, $12,000 from the tips, and $32,000 from subscriptions. So the ratio is pretty off here. So if you're brand new to OnlyFans management, so most of the money should come from the messages and tips. And when I say most, I mean there should be quite a big margin compared to the amount you're getting from subscriptions and tips and messages combined. You know, it should be like this. So this right here is nearly 1-to-1. And the reason why there should be quite a large margin between how much you're making from subscriptions and the messages and tips is because, well, think about it. Let's just say the subscription fee is $5, right? So that means one subscriber has come in and paid $5 in a subscription fee for the entirety of that month. So that's just a one-time payment of $5 for 1 month, right? So therefore, in the messages and the tips, you shouldn't also just make $5 in the entirety of 30 days from one subscriber. That makes no sense, right? So that's why each subscriber, I mean, granted, not every single subscriber will be able to pay and tip and so on and so on, but overall, on average, you should obviously be able to sell them more content, customs, use your sexting scripts, etc., to essentially make more money, right? So that's what we're going to be covering in this video. But just to go over, so the last month with a previous agency, she made $72,000, and then January, as of this year, 2024, was the first month with us, a full month, and we doubled her earnings. So she went from $72,000 a month to $146,000, which is pretty good. So if we break that down, from subscriptions, she made $30.4 thousand. From tips, it was $8.5 thousand. But then from messages, it was $107,000. So that's where the money comes from, okay? So again, if we just compare it from the month before, so messages here was $28,000. Messages here is $107,000. And that is what you need to be doing for your models. And well, if you're watching this as well and you are an OnlyFans model, I'd love to potentially work with yourself. Please message me on Instagram @MarcusHustle, and potentially we could work together. I'll put up the @ over here on the screen, okay? But anyway, so how are we able to do that? And it's pretty crazy. We're able to double the earnings, right? So there's a couple of things that go into it, and in this video, I'll try and keep it, as broad as possible because, I mean, otherwise this video would be going on for hours upon hours, but there are a few main things that happen, right? So first things first is obviously the chatters, right? So first of all, where are they from and how are they qualified and how are they trained, okay? So there are so many conversations going online about, no, you cannot have chatters from, for example, Philippines or any kind of third world country. They must be from UK or US or Canada. You also have people saying that, no, you can 100% have people from Philippines, etc. Matter of fact, they're actually the best chatters in the world. And there's so many people talking about so many different things and you don't know what's right, okay? The truth of the matter is that both work. You can find fantastic chatters in the UK and US and Canada and first world countries, but you can also find fantastic chatters from third world countries. It all depends on you as an agency owner on how are you qualifying them, how are you training them, and how are you managing them, right? Those three things are super, super important. So you could hire somebody from the UK, pay them a very, very nice salary plus a small commission, but they could still do a terrible job. Just because English is their first language doesn't mean that they're going to be fantastic actually doing sexting. There's an art to it, right? It's how you do it. There's a difference between somebody who has no idea what they're doing and somebody who's experienced, right? But you could also have somebody from the Philippines who also may come across like they know how to speak English through WhatsApp DMs back and forth, But then in reality, when it comes to OF, they have actually no idea what they're doing, right? So first things first, you have to qualify them. And when I say qualify, I mean, obviously, first of all, they're English. So if you're an agency owner watching this, you must obviously speak with the chatter back and forth through WhatsApp for at least an entire day, right? Just speak with them. I know you can jump on a Zoom call, and you will, but before you do that, just have a chat with them on WhatsApp. Okay, granted, maybe you don't have to do for an entire 24 hours for a whole day. But for a good couple of hours, just have a quick conversation through WhatsApp, back and forth, right? And just see if you can pick up on grammatical mistakes and spelling mistakes, right? Because if you can on WhatsApp, well, then obviously there will be grammatical and spelling mistakes on the Onlyfans page, right? So that's one quick way to kind of disqualify potential chatters. Then you want to obviously jump on a Zoom call with them and qualify them that way. So what experience do they have? What are they currently doing? What kind of setup do they have? What kind of Wi-Fi do they have? And all these different things that you want to check, right? Now, in our coaching program where we teach other agencies on how to do all of this, we explain exactly how to qualify the chatters, where to even find them, how to onboard them, how to manage them, etc. But those are a couple of things that you want to think about straight away. Now, the second thing then, how we're able to double the income here, especially in the messages, is how many chatters do you have, right? Do you just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, right, per account? So again, you'll have some people saying that you can just do it with, 2. You have some people saying you must have 10, right? So there's no right or wrong. For us, in our particular instance, in this case, there are 3 chatters on this account, each of them doing an 8-hour shift. And then there is a 4th person that is hired, which is the manager, who overlooks every single one of the chatters. The chatters do a Zoom call to overlay all the information to the next chatter, and then vice versa, and then they simply rotate. The information that is shared on those Zoom calls is super, super vital, and it's important because you need to understand where the conversation is left, who are the whales, who are the important people to speak to, and who are the time wasters, right? Also, what are the customs that are currently being sold? They need to be relayed over to the client or the model for her to actually create the content and then sell it on OnlyFans, right? And the 4th person that is hired, which is the manager, super important. So you as the business owner, the agency owner, there is no way at scale you're able to manage and keep a track of 20, 30, 40. I mean, right now we have just under 40 chatters. There's no way, me personally, I'm able to look at every single one of them all day, every day, and make sure they're doing their job correctly. There's absolutely no way. So what you want to do is you want to hire a manager that just manages the chatters, and if there's any problems ever, they relay that information to you. But most of the time, you should be able to train them and put SOPs in a way. So SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. So basically systems and protocols that they can follow to make sure that there are no mistakes happening, right? There's no issues, no problems, etc. And in some instances, for example, if there's a power cut for one of your chatters, you have somebody that is easily able to replace them instantly. So you're not going to lose any money. Those are the first 2 things. And then the third one, which I'm going to touch on this video, there's a few more, but the third one are the actual sexting scripts. So what actually is being said in the messages, which is obviously the most important part, right? So look, I think especially if you're watching this and you're an OnlyFans model, you got to think about the macro, not the micro, right? So the micro being, sure, there might be the odd phrase or the odd word that you might not use that the chatters use, right? There might be a level of explicitity in the chatting that they might use that you might not, right? So for example, you might say certain things before, working with an agency, and the agency comes on board and the chatters are doing a fantastic job. They're selling a lot of customs and a lot of content. However, they're talking in such a way that you might not be, right? Like in a very explicit way. So for you to nitpick and for you to say, no, don't do it this way, do it the way I like to do it, you're welcome to, but you got to understand that if you want different results and if you want to double your income, you must do something completely different, right? You must double whatever, is going on here. So in our instance, we have dozens and dozens of different chatting scripts already pre-made with text messages that are already there. Now, not all of them are completely copy and paste because every conversation goes in a different way and every single subscriber likes to be spoken to in a different way, right? So the chatters have to adapt on how each script and each fan is spoken to. But as long as these scripts are pre-made and we have the content already there, it is a surefire way to make sure that every single conversation flows roughly about the same way, right? And if that's the case, you're able to train every single chatter in such a way that they can't really be any mistakes. They simply have to follow a system that you've set out every single night with every single subscriber. And therefore, you're able to make an OnlyFans account go from $28,000 in messages to over $107,000 in messages. Again, if you're a model and you'd love to work with us, I could be happy to jump on a call with you. If you're interested, all you have to do is message me on my Instagram. Again, there's only one Instagram that I have. It's this one here on the screen, @MarcusHustle. If you're an agency owner and you'd love to learn more on exactly how we're able to make these crazy amounts of money, there'll be a free YouTube video down below as well in the description. Click that link and you're able to watch an entire free YouTube video that explains exactly what is OFM and how you can get started today. I'll see you on the next one.